Hi everyone, and welcome to those of you who have just joined us. Thank you for joining our Couch to College session on how work experience can boost your future career. Today's session will be presented to you by Aaron and Hilary, who are part of our employability team here at the Manchester College. Throughout the session, please feel free to use the Q&A box to the right of your screen and ask any questions you may have, and we'll do our best to answer them all at the end of the session. With that all said, I'll now pass you over to Aaron to get the session started. Over to you, Aaron.
Great, thank you. Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Aaron, one of the employer engagement leads of the employability team at the Manchester College, and I'm joined today by my colleague Hilary. So during this session, you will gain an insight into what work experience is and its benefits, how it forms part of your program of study, and the vital part it can play in planning your future career. So to start, in our employability department, we have a team of 15 working with students across a wide range of areas such as automotive, animal care, business, care professions, construction and engineering, media, fashion and hospitality, and catering, to name a few. We all work together to ensure that every student has the opportunity to engage in a meaningful placement that is specific to your area of study. We pride ourselves on ensuring that we meet our target of 100% of students being given the opportunity to engage in a placement during each year of their study at TMC. And in addition, all students will have access to at least 1 hour of employability per week, where you can search through our wide range of opportunities available and work with us to prepare you to go into the world of work. Some of you are probably thinking, I haven't done any work experience before, so what is it? Well, work experience is a fantastic opportunity for you to meet employers, to develop new skills, and to put knowledge into practice in a place of work. For example, if you want to become a builder, you are given the opportunity to work on a construction site with one or more of our partners to gain valuable skills that can help you whilst doing assessments at college. This also provides you with an insight into what it is like to work as part of a team of professionals in a live working environment. Now, for those of you who may be thinking this sounds a little new and a little bit scary, don't you worry. The employability team, alongside your tutors, will help you to prepare for your placement well in advance, and this is where the employability hour comes in. During your employability hour, you will engage in a range of topics to help you to feel ready to take on work placement. For example, you will explore and discuss topics like deciding on the right placement, time management, travel planning, and communication skills, amongst other things, which will help you to feel confident going into your chosen placement. As you can see on the slide, there are 2 types of work placement. My colleague Hilary will provide you with further details on these shortly, but as a starting point, we have the first one, a short-term placement, which lasts for between 2 days and 2 weeks. And the second, the industry placement, which lasts for a minimum of 315 hours, where you are based on placement roughly 2 days per week. Both are superb opportunities, but allow for students to choose the duration depending on how confident they feel they can commit to a placement. In addition, we offer a range of work-related activity, which helps you to gain an insight into the specific environments that you may go into for work experience, and also allows for you to meet employers to find out about their roles and what it takes to get to where they are in the industry. We want to ensure that all students are work ready when they leave college, and as you can see, the deal is a guide and set of expectations that prepares you for the world of work. The deal represents the professional standards and behaviours that the Manchester College would like students and staff to commit to, and we've created them based on your feedback, and they're here to help you to thrive in your time at the college. There are 7 areas that the deal covers, and all of them are important to the culture of our college, including being respectful, being collaborative, being proactive, being committed, responsible, ambitious, and of course being professional. Now, you'll be expected to meet these standards in the workplace, so it is very important that you get used to them from now. And in addition, as you can imagine, all of these areas are skills that can not only be developed, but are very important to prospective employers. So developing them now during work experience will be an excellent way of providing examples for how you have demonstrated them when it comes to being interviewed, and this will really put you at the top of their minds when it comes to decision time. In addition, when you sign up to the deal, you'll also get exclusive access to Digital Credentials, our online tool, where you earn badges based on employability skills and attendance milestones that are useful to share on CVs and applications. Okay, so we have done some research into the importance and benefit of work experience and how it can be positively impacted on your career prospects. Now, firstly, we found that you are much more likely to gain employment if you engage with employers. Now, this could be due to a number of things, like having work experience on your CV, boosting employability skills so that you are able to apply and do well at interviews, and also making contacts, which can be very important when seeking out opportunities. Research also found that the more employer encounters you have, the more money you could actually earn in the future. But this is likely to be because encounters give you an insight into what the progression pathway is likely to look like in order to progress from, say, being a trainee to someone who is in maybe a management position, which normally means a higher salary. As well as this, you are more likely to be aware of where to look and how to apply for exclusive opportunities. For example, if you are working well with professionals in your chosen industry, they are more likely to tell you what opportunities are coming up, which means you can prepare an application in advance and will have suitable experience of the job. Additionally, a high percentage of employers believe that work experience is essential. If you think about it from their perspective, if you come in with some knowledge and experience of a job role, it really shows that you are serious about that profession and that you've prepared yourself for the moments that are due to follow. And lastly, all of these tie into the finding that overall work experience can really boost your future career. And our students have been benefiting from the wide range of fantastic opportunities that we source for many years. Now, here is a short clip about the benefits of work experience from students.
If anyone said work experience was pointless, I definitely disagree, because it's good to have anything under your belt, especially in this day and age. To have any experience is very beneficial applying for any job.
I think that work experience is a great time to find out what it is you actually want to do in life. At that age, I believe it's easier to jump around and try different job roles to find something that you actually enjoy doing.
Work experience is invaluable, and it's so important to help you get your foot in the door of a working environment.
There are many benefits to work experience, from learning soft skills like teamwork, dealing with different levels of seniority, and managing and organising your time, skills that are crucial in life, not just in the workplace.
Okay, I will now hand you over to my colleague, Hilary.
Oh, Hilary, just on mute.
Apologies. Yeah, thank you, Aaron. Thank you for that, showing the great video. It's great to hear students talking about the many benefits of work experience. Now let's look at them, the benefits, in a bit more detail. Firstly, you get to learn about the job through hands-on experience. You see what happens firsthand, and through this you develop your technical and practical skills. You get to practice the skills and knowledge you are learning in the classroom whilst you're out on placement. In some cases, you may be lucky enough to learn things on placement that you don't already know. You can have the opportunity to learn at college, and these skills you can share with your peers and tutors. Gaining technical knowledge and skills in the workplace can help you with the course you're studying, and it can be applied to your college coursework. It may help to improve your grades in the long run. What a great motivator. Having a wealth of relevant experience behind you gives you that added advantage to get you in the door. Then at interview, you can demonstrate these skills and talk about your experiences with confidence and conviction, relating your competencies to real situations and bringing your application form to life in front of the recruiter. Whilst on placement, you get to meet lots of different people, and as Aaron said, great time and opportunity to network at all different levels within the organisation. This can help you gain a better understanding of various job roles and routes into different career pathways. I always positively encourage students to talk to anybody and everybody in a workplace. Find out a little bit more about what they've done and how they've got where. It will help you to decide what route you want to take after college. You may also be ahead of the game, as Aaron said, when apprenticeships and job opportunities are advertised. You may be just in the right place at the right time, or if not, you will have built a valuable working relationship with an employer, resulting in a more meaningful reference to use for future job applications. It can help you build all those essential employability skills and technical skills. These are skills employers look for in new recruits when they are trying to spot new talent. Thank you, Aaron. So what does work experience at Manchester College look like? What is it? Work experience covers work placements and work-related activity, and Aaron touched very briefly on it earlier, but I just want to talk a little bit more detail as to the differences. An industry placement. That's the first one that's available to level 2 and level 3 students. You'll spend a minimum of 315 hours, which equates to about 45 to 50 days with an external employer in a role directly relevant to your course, usually 2 days a week when you're not in college. This placement will be a good fit with your course, meaning you'll be able to learn the relevant technical skills for the industry you hope to go into. You will have several reviews and complete a logbook of the technical practical skills learnt on placement. Some employers may pay a wage or cover your expenses, but the college will support travel and other essential expenses. A work placement, again, is very similar to the industry placement with a reduced time on placement up to 14 days. Again, you'll receive feedback on your placement and receive invaluable support as if you were an industry placement. It tends to give you an overview of what it's like to work within your chosen industry. Work-related activity, what's that? All students will complete aspects of work-related activity. This is a great chance for you to meet with employers. This could be via classroom talks, hands-on support with CV, mock interviews, live briefs, site visits, competition entries. The list is vast. So we've talked about the placements. So how do you get a work placement? So that's where we, as a team of employability partnership coordinators, will support you. Whilst you are at college, you'll get a visit from your employability partnership coordinator. They'll come and introduce themselves at the beginning of term, and they'll visit you throughout the year in your employability sessions. That's that 1 hour session that Aaron made reference to earlier. You might have the opportunity to chat to your tutor. They will have access to all the information you need and put you in touch with your employability partnership coordinator. You yourself might have some ideas. Let your partnership coordinator know the sort of experiences you would like and where you would like to do it. We can work together to secure the best placement for you. So you might have an idea, you want to work in a hairdressing salon, you've seen one down the road. Give us those details and we can definitely make contact with them to see if they can accommodate you on placement. Check out the opportunities. We as a team will source large amounts of placements that might be appropriate to yourselves, and they will be available on Moodle and also will be discussed as part of your employability hour by your employability tutor. Employers sometimes like to meet you firsthand or hold an interview. We will offer full support if that's the case. You may have sourced your own placement. Your auntie may have access to a mechanics department down the road and they've offered you a placement. That's great. So what you need to do next is notify us as the employability coordinators, because we need to verify the details, we need to check health and safety, and we need to make sure it's a safe place to be. Things to do about starting before you start your placement. What do I wear? This will be dependent on the placement. You may be required to wear a uniform, or you may be working in an office environment and are required to wear more formal dress. Don't worry, we are here to support you and offer guidance in making sure you have the right outfit. On placement, we want to hear about all the great experience you are getting involved in. It is important that you keep your logbook or other records up to date. This can also benefit at a later stage, at interviews or college work when asked to talk about what you learnt on placement. It is important that you act in a professional manner. Not only are you representing your college, but you're also representing yourself. By giving a great professional impression, you'll be surprised what doors it may open and what potential opportunities may arise. Communication is key. You'll be communicating in many ways, verbal, non-verbal and written form. Your confidence will increase by asking lots of questions and talking to the people who work at or visit your placement. Timekeeping is just as important as it is to be on time for college. It is the same at placement. This applies to both the start of the day and during breaks, lunches. Often placement students follow the same break patterns as staff. Please make sure you return on time. We've probably given you lots to think about today and are happy to answer any questions. We look forward to meeting with you soon at Manchester College and working with you to secure a placement that is enjoyable and will give you lots of great experiences. Thank you. I'm going to hand you back over to Emma now. Hopefully we can answer some of your questions. Thank you.
That's great. Thank you very much, Hilary. That was fantastic. Really, really insightful. We've had quite a few questions come through. So hopefully yourself and Aaron will be able to answer them. So the first ones are some of the things you may have answered, but I think the people may have missed them. So it's just worth going over some of the points, I think. So the first one is, why do I have to do a work placement?
Do you want me to answer that one, Aaron?
Go for it, Hills.
Yeah. So gaining work experience is part of starting your career as a young adult. Employers are very keen on candidates who have work experience, or rather they're keen on what it gives you. The confidence and practical skills you need to succeed in the workplace. So it will stand you miles in front from candidates who have no work experience. So if you think about that pile of CVs, so some of you at 16 to 18 may think you've got nothing to put in that aspect of the part where it asks you what your experience is. But if you've done a work experience, you're able to put something in that box where it asks what your experience is. So employers will tend to look at that a little bit more favourably. They'd like to have a little bit of information than none. So work experience is also a perfect way to sample and explore some of the great career options that might be right for yourself. Thank you.
Fantastic. The next question is, how many hours am I required to do? I guess that's more of like the minimum, I guess, is the point of that question.
Yeah, I'll take that one. So it really does depend on which type of work placement you're undertaking, as we mentioned before. So if it is a short-term work placement, depending on whether you are a level 2 or a level 3 student, if you're a level 2 student, you're required to complete 25 hours across the academic year. Whereas if you are a level 3 student, you're required to complete 35 hours across the academic year. Now, of course, if you are undertaking industry placement, those hours are a lot greater. As a bare minimum, there will be 315 hours, which equates to around about 2 days per week.
Okay, fantastic. A few more specific questions on what day will my placement be on? Will it be a specific day, or does it depend what course I'm studying?
Do you want me to answer that one, Aaron?
I'll go with that one, that's fine. Yeah. So in terms of the day, we try to work it around your course of study. So we ideally, because you're not due to be in every single day of the week, we try and position placements on the days that you're not in college. Just that way it complements your academic study and just works better with the whole department as a whole there.
Okay, fantastic, that's great. Next question is, will I need to be interviewed for my work placement?
Shall I answer that one, Aaron?
Go for it.
Obviously, because you're going into a workplace environment other than college, and quite often they're small businesses or even large businesses, somebody likes to know who they're going to be taking in as a student. So quite often, I don't like to call it a work interview, but more like an informal chat. So quite often employers will ask for them to meet you prior to your starting placement. So yes, sometimes you may be asked to meet with the employer prior to starting your placement, but we will support you on that as well.
Thank you. A bit on the back of what we just asked, really, I think you've kind of almost answered it, but does every course have work experience, ingrained as part of it?
Yeah.
Shall I answer it?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, so every student that comes to the college studying a level 2, level 3 program, 16 to 19-year-old learners will engage in some form of work experience. In addition to that, we'll also engage in some form of work placement and work related. So it comes under the umbrella of work experience. So in answer to that question, yes.
Yeah, fantastic, thank you. Next one is regarding where people can complete their work experience. So can I choose where I go, or do I get assigned a placement? I think, again, you've mentioned that already, but maybe it's just worth reiterating.
Yeah, I can answer that one. So of course, the EPCs, as Hilary has mentioned already, we accumulate quite a large number of opportunities throughout the academic year for all the different courses that we offer. And students have the option of exploring what's on offer there. What we do encourage, though, is for students to obviously explore the opportunities that are nearby where they live, because it's easier to get to. However, there are always going to be plenty of opportunities available, but it just shows how proactive you are if you are already looking for opportunities in your local area. And I think it really does give a good impression to employers if you sort them out to actually get that work experience off your own back. I think it's fantastic. So there are plenty of opportunities available across the departments that we work with.
Great, thank you. The next question is can I count my job as my work placements? I suppose someone's already got a part-time job. Can that count towards their work placement?
Do you want to answer that, Hilary, or would you like me to?
So yeah, I can answer it, Aaron. Yeah. So quite often students will have part-time job roles, and obviously sometimes we might be able to use aspects of it if they go within a different department to use that as part of their work placement. But as a rule, we don't tend to use their paid employment as part of their work experience.
Okay, no problem. And in terms of, there's a question here, do I get paid to do a work placement? Is that a possibility? Is that something that's on offer, or are these all unpaid placements?
Do you want me to answer it, Aaron?
Yeah, go for it.
Well, they start off unpaid, but sometimes, which quite often happens, is some learners might be able to move over to paid employment. I had a couple of learners who worked in the hotel environment. They started off as a placement, and then they were offered part-time works which run alongside their main study programme. So it can lead to paid employment, but they don't go in being paid.
Okay, great. And in terms of the number of work placements they can do, can they work in multiple places? Can they do multiple bits of work experience with different organisations?
Absolutely, and we would encourage that. As I mentioned before, in terms of the encounters with employers, it really does boost your employability. It makes you look so attractive on the CV, and you're going to gain new experiences from different companies. So I'd absolutely encourage students to engage with more than one placement if it's all possible.
Yeah. Okay. Obviously, as you mentioned there's different experiences you can have on work experience. One question here is, how can I be sure that I'll get a good work placement?
Sorry, I missed that last bit.
Do you want me to answer, Aaron?
Yeah, sorry, I missed that question. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So the question, just repeat the question again for Aaron.
Basically, how can I be sure that I'll get a good work placement?
Yeah, so we as a team are industry specific. So as Aaron said, we work in quite a lot of different areas. So for example, the Automotive Employability Partnership Coordinator will be able to work with you and best fit the right placement for yourself. So we obviously ensure everything's completed with regards to health and safety standards, but we try and make as best a fit for you as an individual student, because we're all bespoke and we've all got specific needs. So we always source the best possible option for you as a student.
Okay, fantastic. Next question is about EPCs. Do they teach the employability sessions? Is it them that teach the sessions?
Well, employability sessions are normally taken by tutors who follow a scheme of work, but employability coordinators will often attend these sessions and update student placement opportunities. So it's a really good opportunity for students to be able to engage with us on a one-to-one basis, and maybe even once a week, twice a week, and look at those opportunities as well. Or if for example, a student has found their own opportunity, they can bring it to us, and we can obviously make sure that it's safe and secure, and work with the employer to make sure that it's a robust and safe environment to work in.
Okay, great. So moving on to, I guess, the more about the current situation with COVID-19, and we've had a couple of questions about that. How will you make sure that work placements are safe from COVID-19? How can you do that as an employability team, I suppose?
Do you want me to answer, Aaron?
Yeah, go for it.
So obviously, as part of our role as employability partnership coordinators, we work with employers to make sure that the necessary risk assessments and health and safety guidelines are in place. Obviously, post-COVID, we're still in process in conducting robust risk assessments to make sure that students are safe. And we'll be working through that throughout the summer and throughout the autumn term with employers to make sure that is the case. But we will not put any student out onto a placement that we don't consider it to be safe, and it's all the necessary checks have been completed by the college. That we can assure you of that.
Okay. That leads quite nicely on to my next question, which is what if students can't physically go to a workplace due to COVID-19? Are there other options from an employability point of view?
Yeah, we've actually already started planning virtual work placements with our current employers, and it has been wholly positive so far. Obviously, we'll have to look at this on a case-by-case basis because we don't know how things are likely to be changing, and different industries are likely to be offering different types of work experiences as well. So, as I say, case by case, but we're definitely exploring those options and have been for a few months now.
Great, thanks, Alan. I think we're having a few issues with your video there, but I think we managed to hear everything. No, don't worry, it's not a problem. We managed to hear the whole answer, so don't worry about that. Next question is just regarding actually specific courses, I suppose. So regarding specifically performing arts industry, how hard is it to find jobs in that industry, and what kind of opportunities are there for that sector in terms of work experience?
Do you want me to answer that one, Aaron?
Go for it, Hills.
Yeah, so I work within my cluster. I've got a team of 3 who work together with the performing arts, and obviously that's quite varied. It might be visual, it might be music, it might be dance. So pre-COVID, we worked with quite a few employers, and it can be quite different. The work experience opportunities, we had quite a few students working in local theatres, supporting events, and we had quite a few students working at Band on the Wall. Moving forward, as Aaron said, post-COVID, we'll be looking at opportunities more virtually, but that's what my team is doing now currently over the summer, is working with more employers to make sure that those students within all areas, including performing arts, get the best possible work experience opportunities.
Okay, fantastic. And there's a similar question for the sports industries, but again, I think it's probably a similar situation. Have you got any examples of work experience in the sports industry that the team that students can do?
Yeah, so the FA have released guidelines more recently with regards to coaching. Hopefully you can still hear me. I'm sorry if you can't.
Yeah.
So we're looking at that at the moment. Leisure centres as well have offered placements to many of our students with regards to doing personal training and gym instruction, that kind of thing, lifeguarding. So as you can imagine, there's a lot of hygiene related aspects that need to be considered there. But all of these industries, as Hilary mentioned as well, that they will need people to help out and be part of the process going forward. So I don't see it being difficult. Well, it will be difficult to start with, of course, but there will definitely be opportunity there.
Okay, great. There's a question here about personal circumstances, I suppose. Will dyed hair be an issue with a work experience placement? Will it be an issue with getting a placement, I suppose?
Do you want me to answer that, Aaron?
Go for it.
I foresee no reason. I cover hospitality, hair and beauty, travel and tourism. I think it's dependent on the area that you're working in, but in all the areas that I work in, and I cover creative arts as well, I'm sure they positively embrace coloured hair. So
okay.
That's the overview from me.
Dyed hair has never been a problem for me either. So.
Cool. So the next question is an interesting one, actually. I was just wondering, do you cover the insurance for the business I would be doing my work experience with?
I'm not too sure.
I guess insurance for as an employee, I suppose it would be covered by the business. They're covered for any accidents or anything happens on site.
Yeah. So as part of the health and safety and risk assessment that we complete with the employer, as I say, that's really quite robust, and we ensure that an employer's liability insurance is in place, and that will cover all students who are going out into external placements, so they are covered. You are classed as an employee of the employer that you're going to, the business, so we'll ensure that we get sight of that document to make sure it's all legal and that you are covered.
Brilliant. Thank you. Okay, there's a specific one here, and you may not have the answer to it, but I'll ask away. Do you know how many people studied plumbing last year, and what percentage of them got a job after that? You might not have specifics, but do you have a general idea?
I don't have specifics. You're right. I would say quite a few. Our plumbing courses are, I'd say, quite oversubscribed. Actually, we have a lot of interest within the construction trades. In terms of job opportunities, off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you, but what I do know is that the work experience that had been conducted did offer some fantastic opportunities at the end of it as well, whether that be further work experience or potentially opportunities for part-time work as well.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, last two questions. So first one is, do you support students who are over the age of 19? Obviously, a lot of what we've been talking about is based mainly for 16 to 18-year-olds, but is there any support on offer for students over the age of 19?
Do you want me to answer that one, Aaron?
Sorry, my connection is really bad.
Will I answer it? Yeah. So the majority of students who fall into the 19 plus bracket are not funded by the study programme, so therefore are not necessarily required to complete a external work placement. However, if when entering the classes, and quite often you've got 19 plus learners in there and they want to take part in a placement, we have no problem in applying for any relevant placements that might be available that are posted by our team. So yeah, we do support the 19 plus learners, and I myself, and I think Aaron has as well, we've supported 19 plus learners with their work placements to ensure that it's available for all within a 16 to 19 classroom.
Brilliant. And then lastly, again, a bit more on support in terms of progression. Will we get help with finding a university or getting a secure job after college?
Well, what we do offer is a lot of support in terms of obviously building those employability skills, which will help in terms of being able to apply for university and further study. So we don't directly support students in putting in applications for university, but we do help with preparation to get them to the point where they can do that themselves.
Mm-hmm. And I guess in addition to that, there is this support from the careers and welfare team as well as you guys as well. That's what they're there for, is to help you with those questions. So great. Okay, I think that's it. Let me just double check. I think we've just had a couple more. So one more is, will I be safe out on work placement? How do you make sure that students are safe on work placement?
Do you want me to answer that, Aaron?
Yes, please.
Yeah, so we work quite closely with the students very early on with regard to their work placements, and if necessary, we'll work with them for a travel planner. We'll work with their parents, and we'll make sure that they feel comfortable and confident to attend at a placement. Before now, Aaron and I have both been available to support our students on their first day of placement, because let's be honest, 16 to 18, especially 16-year-old, it can be quite daunting to attend your placement on that first day. So we will attend quite often with you to introduce you to the employer, just to make sure that you feel safe. But as I said earlier, we do ensure that all the necessary risk assessments are in place. We will quite often visit employers to make sure that those premises are safe and ready for the attendance of our students. And we also work with the employers to make sure that they've got an employer pack and are fully aware of what their responsibilities are. We also ensure that the employer will give the student quite a robust induction programme as well, so that they're fully aware of what they can and can't do on placement. But we're always here as a team anyway, should the student have any questions or queries.
Lovely, thank you very much. And the last question, I think this one is, will doing my work placement take me away from my studies?
No, I mean, work placement's designed to be an integral part of your course. Obviously, your studies will prepare you for that placement, which is beneficial, and the placement will add real value to your course overall. As I mentioned before, we do try and work around your timetable to fit you in on the days that you're not due in college or on your course, to be able to work on your work placement.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Hilary and Aaron. I think that's all the questions we've got for you today, and thank you everyone for joining us this afternoon. If you'd like to find out more about Manchester College, then we do still have more Couch to College events taking place up until this Friday. That does include further sessions from Aaron and Hilary's team on how to become work ready and how to promote yourself to employers through social media. So I'd recommend you check those sessions out as well. To find out more and to register for those sessions, you just need to visit tmc.ac.uk and then click Couch to College. And all it leaves me to say is thank you very much for joining us again, and we're looking forward for you to joining us in September. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.